for you. Tell me something in the book that's going to be surprising to people.
I think what's going to be surprising is pretty much everything cover to cover. And the reason for that is that my point of view has never been out there. The book is written from a perspective of how I came into the case, and as the case developed, things that I saw, things that I thought, and
give me one shred of what's going to shock me when I open. I'd say open the book to the middle. What's going to stun me?
What's going to shock you is how much you don't know about the Casey Anthony case.
Don't know in the sense of explaining it away or making us even more concerned about Casey?
No, I think there's no explaining things away. I see this piece of evidence, this is what I'm thinking. There are certain pieces of evidence that never made it to trial, never made it in the discovery, that I think were significant. For various reasons, we didn't present certain things, and for various reasons, a lot was not made public. And I think this is the first time, if people are interested in this case, they're going to be able to read this book and get a complete different perspective, as well as information that they just didn't know.
It's hard for me to believe that people are going to change their opinion about Casey. They've really vilified her. People seem to get very angry with you for throwing George under the bus. Are they going to see evidence as to why you chose to take that position with George?
Yes. They're going to see what we learned, when we learned it.
About George and sexual abuse?
About everything. Not just, you know, I mean, what bothered me about this whole case is several things. But one of the things that still bothers me today is I never thought, and you know, I realize for the general public who's not involved in the legal system, they look at this case as, you know, look at her behavior, and
well, then they stop. By the way, then they're guilty.
Correct.
Bad news.
Correct. Yeah. So, you know, this case was never about Casey's behavior. It was about how Kaylee died, and it was never. We would have never had the opportunity to put on our defense if that behavior was not made relevant. And let me be more specific. June 16th, Kaylee died. So what happened after that is really irrelevant.
The cover-up is what made it. But by the way, when somebody lies and lies and lies, the one thing we know about Casey, liar. That's the only thing we know for sure about her. For sure. You're not going to tell me she's not.
My point is, under the law, unless there is evidence of someone fleeing or consciousness of guilt, all of that stuff is irrelevant. So in order for us to explain her behavior, a lot of this evidence that really had nothing to do with how Kaylee died had to be admitted. And that's why I think the case ended up becoming what it was. If this was a straight-up murder case like every other case, there would have been evidence of a murder. There was no evidence of a murder, and that's why the case became what it became, a speculation spectacle.
Based on the mom's, suspect is the kindest word I can use, behavior subsequent to the death.
She didn't act right. She didn't act the way you would normally.
Stop there. She didn't act right. I think we would agree on that.